Hey gang, Carrie here at the Anna Bemis Palmer Museum in York, Nebraska. Welcome back to Mondays at the Museum. So, I've been getting a lot of really great feedback from you guys over the past few weeks, and I think my favorite so far has come from my dear friend Meredith, who told me, frankly, enough of these husbands, more Anna. So we are going back to Anna this week, and one of her biggest accomplishments in her life is actually being a charter member of the York David Bryant chapter of the DAR, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Daughters of the American Revolution today. So the DAR, for short, came about around the centennial. That was really the big thing at that time, was to jump in and do something patriotic, and it was the centennial that kind of brought all of that into focus. There was this organization called the Sons of the American Revolution, and they held a vote in which they decided to exclude women from membership, which went over probably about as well as one can assume it went over. And this lady named Mary S. Lockwood wrote a letter to the Washington Post that was like, were there no mothers of the revolution? And so the leader of the Sons group was like, go ahead and start your own group. And he was actually really supportive of it. So they did. They started their own group. They had the first official meeting on October 11th of 1890. There were 18 women in attendance, and then they had 4 of the Sons group as kind of like an advisory board of sorts. Mary Ellett Cabell was the vice president proceeding, and her house actually became the headquarters for them at that time. And it became her job to sort of find them a leader. And she did, actually. She was able to get the First Lady of the U.S. at that time was Carolyn Scott Harrison, who was the wife of the 23rd president, Benjamin Harrison. She became the first President General. February 26, 1892, they had their first Continental Congress at the Church of Our Father in Northwest Washington, D.C. The first big task was to build a monument to George Washington's mother, Mary Ball Washington, and they did that in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So the organization became so popular that they wanted their own building. They wanted somewhere fireproof that was safe to house relics and records that the members had been collecting. And so basically they started doing some research, and they found an architect, and they picked a spot literally 2 blocks away from the White House. The architect is the same guy that designed the inside of the Library of Congress, and the exterior to the building, which is called Memorial Continental Hall, actually looks so similar to the White House that a lot of TV shows use it as a filming location for like exterior and even interior White House shots. I'm kind of a West Wing nut, so I guess they filmed there 9 times, which was really cool. Veep also filmed there, Parks and Rec filmed there, House of Cards filmed there. National Treasure took the whole front of the building, because it literally, it has the pillars and everything, so it looks like the front, and they turned it into like an 1800s White House. They added gravel, and they had big huge rain machines and everything like that, which is really cool. It's still to this day, like I said, a really popular landmark to go and see, just for this reason, because it does look exactly like the White House, but also because it's so important to this organization and its history. So the DAR, it's not a social organization, as you know, some people may think that it is. It's not. So their main 3 things are historical, educational, and patriotic. So historical says to perpetuate the memory and spirit of the men and women who achieved American independence. The educational is to carry out the injunction of Washington in his farewell address to the American people, when he said to promote as an object of primary importance institutions for the general diffusion of knowledge, thus developing an enlightened public opinion. And then the patriotic part is to cherish, maintain, and extend the institutions of American freedom, to foster true patriotism and love of country, and to aid in securing for mankind all the blessings of liberty. The DAR has had more than 1 million members in its history, and they became members I mean, to honor their heritage, obviously, because of the patriotic aspect, but also because they want to make a difference in their communities. There are so many things that the DAR has been able to accomplish because people are so willing to give and to volunteer. It says any woman 18 years or older, regardless of race, religion, or ethnic background, and you have to be able to prove lineal descent from a patriot of the American Revolution, and then you'll be eligible to join. DAR members volunteer millions of service hours annually in their local communities. They support the military, they assist veteran patients, they support schools for underserved children. They basically donate millions annually. And it's just crazy, the stuff that they are able to accomplish with this. It's so cool. So it says, as one of the most inclusive genealogical societies in the country, the DAR boasts 190,000 members and 3,000 chapters across the United States and internationally. So that's all for today. I'm going to be posting some pictures and some unique things that I have found at the museum relating specifically to Anna and the DAR this week. If you have any feedback or questions, if you have any ties to the DAR on your own, any sort of family ties or friend ties, I'd love to see it. Or if you have pictures, feel free to share them in the comments as well. See you later.